Hi again all, welcome to the Sabres Reloaded. This is the video on the channel that throws a topic out there for you guys to go and just have some fun with after. And my topic tonight, looked like I spelt it wrong, but I didn't. That's what I was checking. Goal scoring. The Sabres have goal scoring, folks. If we had any doubts, you know what, from the beginning of the year I was saying, and I believed it when I said it, they're going to score a lot more goals this year. You could just tell the way we closed last year out, guys. You could tell. You could see it. You could see it in their demeanor. You could see it in their play, in the way they're going into the corners. I mean, look at Olofsson now. Olofsson's not scared to go in the corners no more. He's just not. And what's going on with Middlestat and a shaved head and him punching people? Like, what is going on out there? You know, this is as funny as Tage when he did that goal there and in the shootout years ago, you know. But the goal scoring, I don't think, guys, of course it will probably slow down a bit, but I don't think we'll be snake bit for like a month. You know what I mean? I don't think we'll have those one game, one goal, two goals, one goal, two goals, 0, 1, 2. I don't think we'll go through a stretch like that all year. I just don't. There's too much firepower on this team now. This team now has real firepower. And the kids are the biggest reason why. They really are, you know. I was happy Okposo scored last game, even though it was an empty net, because that could get him going. That's something I've been forgetting to mention. I want to mention that while I think of it. That empty net goal by Okposo not only sealed the game, it could give him, you know how guys are in the NHL. Once they get a goal, then all of a sudden that weight's off their back. If there was any weight on his back, which I don't think any of us were putting that on Okposo's back this year. We know he's not a guy that's going to get 20 probably again. Probably not. But what if he does? What if he has a year like last year and he wakes up and starts scoring again like last year and he has 20 goals again? You know, then we got like Tage, who has a shot at 50. Olofsson, if he stays healthy, could have a shot at 50. We have a lot of firepower up front, guys, that we're not even talking about. Alex Tuch. He's going to set a career high most likely if he stays healthy. The key is staying healthy. You know, if the boys can stay healthy this year, it's hockey. You know, it's a rough game. But if they could stay relatively healthy this year, these guys, we could have like what Calgary did last year, all that goal scoring. And I'll tell you what, folks, if we got two guys that get 50 goals, we're in the playoffs. We're in the playoffs. You know, we're in the playoffs, and these guys will have 50 goals because our power play will be going off too. You know what I mean? It won't just be like regular strength. It'll be like a lot of power play goals in there too. So I think it's possible. I just do. This team looks night to night like it can't be stopped. Even in games where we're stopped, we explode eventually. So we're due for a game, in my opinion, guys, where we have a good start and score a few early. We're due for that. We haven't done that lately. You know what I mean? This is just somewhere where I'm coming from, I guess. I'm off the top of my head. Maybe we'll go into Carolina and jump up on them 2-0 after 6-7 minutes. There's no way to know with this bunch. This is a crazy, crazy young team. Crazy good young team. They're crazy good, you know? Scary good and crazy good. This is a good young squad. And I would say it if they had another crest. I would say that about this bunch. They could be the Toronto Maple Leafs, and I'd say Toronto knows what they're doing with that rebuild. That'd be the first thing I'd say about this Sabres squad. You know, we don't want to do the monkey wrench thing like they did over there when they signed Tavares. When they signed Tavares, they took $11 million. They really couldn't afford to do that in the long run, but they were trying to win now, which Toronto fans were just so excited getting Tavares. They weren't thinking at the time that, we don't want to do that, is what I'm saying. We don't want to go that route because that will backfire. And I'll tell you what, if we go and we sign somebody, we get some big name, let's say hypothetically, guys, we go and sign somebody for $11 million. It could be Patrick Kane. I'll throw his name out there because that's the favorite name among Sabres fans of a superstar to get. Then you know what happens? Everybody's market value goes like this. And then when it's time to sign these guys, the guy that was going to make 5 now has to make 7. Because if you're going to go and get this outsider and give him 10 or 11 million bucks, you're paying me. I've been here right from the beginning through all that losing. This guy wasn't. And you're going to give him all that money? And I'm going to be here a lot longer in the future, up and coming star in this team. So there's implications is what I'm saying. If we go out and we do something like that, we have to be very, very smart with the money. As soon as they sign Tavares in Toronto, no kidding, Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner are going to go for tons of cash. You know, we've seen it. Nylander started that role going, and they should have held tight on Nylander. They should have said, no, sit out the season, and they should have. But instead, they gave in. And if they gave in to him, what do you think they're going to do with the other big shots? Of course they're going to give in. It's you know, it's obvious to them anyway. So there's a lot going on when it comes to our team that we have to think about before we do it. We got to make these decisions really, really properly because we have a team right now, guys. Do we really need? I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd love to have Austin Matthews on our team. I would, but for what? 14 million bucks? Really? You know, I don't think any player is worth that. I think that's what he's going to command too. I think he's going to get, probably going to get it. He'll probably get it either with Arizona or Toronto. And Arizona seemed to be knowing what they're doing with their rebuild. Something we don't talk about enough, but Arizona might just be like, no thanks, but no thanks. You know, we're going to just build this team the way we see fit. We're going to take it from there. So goal scoring, guys, is here. Do we really need any outsiders? You know, it's going to be tempting, right? In the off season, especially if you have a winning season. Let's say we got into the playoffs and we won the first round, and let's say we had a season like that this year, and then this off season, some big name becomes available. All of us are going to be hungry to take the next step. But we got to remember, guys, we're going to take the next step anyway because of our age. We're going to be a year older next year. And probably, most likely, still the youngest team in the league with more experience. We can't mess this up. And the only way to mess this up is to go and make a rash decision like that and just spend a ton of money and get one guy. And then what happens? You know, if it doesn't even work out, there's so many things that can happen. It's not worth it. It's not worth the risk. For me, it's not worth the risk. As much as I'd love to see like some big shot name on our team, what happens when it's time to pay our kids and we don't have the cap? Can't do that. We can't be one of those teams that does that, guys. Too many teams fall into that trap. I think Colorado did this offseason. I think Tampa Bay did this offseason. Watch Tampa Bay next year trying to get that squad signed in. Watch next year. It's going to be impossible. They're going to be the modern day Maple Leafs with half the team making $1 million next year. Watch in Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, everybody was saying they signed all these good contracts last year. Nobody knows how to do math. They're going to have something like $7 million open or something to sign like 14 guys or whatever it is. It's crazy. So they're probably going to trade some guys out. They just want to get them on their contracts so they can move them. My guess. And same thing with Colorado. Giving McKinnon all that type of money. Too many big contracts over there. Too many big contracts can kill a Stanley Cup. So I'm hoping we're the one team in the league that can keep the contracts under $10 million. That's what I'm hoping. I'm not sure if it will happen or it won't, but I'll leave it there. All right, guys, done with this one. I got one more coming your way, I believe. Yeah, one more coming your way. So what do you guys think? Do we do it in the off season? Do we get a big shot or do we save our money and lock this bunch in? Because they're showing us, guys, more than one sign that they're okay without some big shot name out there. We're going to have our own big shots, don't worry. These are going to be coveted players around the league very soon also. That's another thing we should talk about. We don't want to get like, offer sheets sent our way and things like that. We'll talk about that though in another video. All right, guys, see you in the next one.